big performance upgrades coming to our flagship Zeus algorithm. I'm also going to showcase a new layout based on our QChronos Evo algorithm. I'll showcase some very impressive backtests with the Zeus updates, along with some live trades of this new Evo layout. Let's get into it. All right, let's start with the Evo setup here. Now, like with most of our strategies, NQ, MNQ is going to be the market of choice. On the screen, you'll see this is based on our QChronos Evo algorithm. Now, this is basically just a very, very customizable Zeus. Zeus is meant to be just a plug and play type algo, but Evo, you can get very, very creative with the take profits, the trailing stops, all that good stuff. And this layout is based on a setup from one of our users, Jennifer, also known as Chocolate Bear in the Discord, and it has exploded in popularity. I'll just go to the Discord quick. As you can see, this thread was opened up a few weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it is popping off. Dozens and dozens of people finding amazing results with the algo. So let me just showcase what it is. Basically, it is going to scalp off of the Evo bullish and bearish step moving average there. But the key is that it's going to have a very tight take profit with a trailing stop. So if we zoom in here, you can see this little gray line here. This is the point where the trailing stop will engage. So as you can see for this trade, for example, we opened up at 8.11 there. Trailing stop kicked in at 8.19, and then it would have executed at 8.22. One more thing I forgot to mention, this Evo Bear setup is definitely better, at least in my experience, on NinjaTrader, because that trailing tick stop is so much more accurate and granular on NinjaTrader. Right now on the screen, I'll overlay real executions. You can see that stop in action, trailing price. That's the move. Those are the types of moves that we're looking for on this Evo setup. Like I said, I've been running a 1NQ size with about a $1,500 profit target, and I've seen some great results with it so far. Now, this particular layout does have a very deep stop, as you can see. So it has a very, very high win rate, but when those losses happen, they can make or break your day. So this strategy, what a lot of users have found to be most successful, is running a small to medium-sized profit target. There's some users, myself included at times, running this what we call wild and free, where you're just no take profit, no daily loss limit, let this thing run. That's just for you to decide whether you're trading props or maybe you have a cash account, you could just let this thing run wild. So very, very cool stuff. If I go to the back test, now keep in mind, this is obviously just a back test, but you could see, yeah, last 90 days. Now, keep in mind, this is on a 30-second chart, so don't take this back test literally, but based on what users have been seeing in real time, real trades, this is fairly on point here. As you can see, very, very high win rate. So when those losses do happen, they're going to sting. It trades from the typical, if I go to the settings, it's set to trade all day. I've been using it with a profit target of around 1,500 using 1NQ. This is just on MNQ to showcase the system. So as you can see, another winner there. So it's going to look for these very, very tight moves with the hoping 2 or 3 trades where it's going to catch a 30, 40 point runner. All right, now moving on to the Zeus upgrades. This was very, very well received in the community. I'll pull up the announcement here from Anthony, our CTO, with the exact performance results here. Make sure you guys can see that. So right now, stock Zeus over the course of 2025. Now it's on a 5-minute chart, Zeus. Go back to this. On a 5-minute chart, the back test we pull is not going to be exact. It's not going to be, take it for every single penny. But because you're on a 5-minute chart, it's going to be relatively around or in that same area. So stock Zeus, still a very strong algorithm, very strong configuration. But with these new upgrades, what we've added are an early stop filter to help avoid those catastrophic losses. If the algorithm sees, hey, this is going against you with strong volume, it'll kill it early. You can see P&L actually went up because it's going to cut down. As you can see, drawdown 11 on this stock setting, drawdown 8. So you cut down on a good $3,000 chunk of drawdown, slightly more trades, slightly lower win rate because it's going to be killing trades, but a much higher profit factor. Now, configuration 3, actually, let me showcase. This would be with the early stop filter. So you could see still very strong. Actually, this is the early stop filter. Sorry. So this would have been stock, right? You can see big loss there from a few weeks ago, which we have recovered. early stop filter would have killed that trade far before a big loss like that to keep the equity curve much, much smoother. We also added a reversal scalper. Now, this will actually trade if it feels the need to in the opposite direction of the original entry. So as you can see, the P&L, you're obviously going to introduce more drawdown as your P&L increases. P&L significantly higher. You jump up from 46th from stock, 53 with the early stop filter, 70 with the reversal scalper, and no early stop filter. So you're really just letting this thing run a little bit more wild and free, as we'd like to say. A lot more trades, almost 100 more trades there. A little lower win rate, lower profit factor, but you're getting higher overall profit, but you're introducing slightly more drawdown. Now, this bottom version here, I'm probably going to be calling this thing Turbo Zeus, and I will probably run this just because I treat my algos a little bit more aggressively with stock Zeus, with the reversal scalper and the early stop filter. As you can see, with that early stop filter, while running the reversal scalper, it's cutting drawdown by over $5,000 there, while maintaining an even stronger P&L, stronger profit factor, slightly lower win rate, just because you're going to be taking more trades. But as you can see, I believe that is one of these. I think it might be this back test, either this one or this one. But as you can see, all the metrics here, again, this is on a 5-minute chart, NQ. This is not going to be exact, but you're going to be relatively close to what these numbers say using Q Zeus. If you're running properly, obviously, none of this is guaranteed. These are just back tests. Just because this says it made this much this 2025 does not mean in any way, shape, or form it will do this moving forward. All we can do is provide this data to you to where you make the decision on how to run our system. So very, very exciting performance upgrades there coming to Q Zeus. Now, this is the TradingView version. So this isn't Zeus 2.0. This is actually version 1.2. As you can see, I've actually got it pulled up on a chart just to show you. I'll compare it with the regular Zeus. So if I go to, this is regular Zeus here. I'll just show you the comparison in trades from would have been yesterday's trade. So yesterday on regular old Zeus that we're running now, very awesome short there, caught a nice, I think it was like a 40, 50 point trade there with Zeus version 1.2. Now in this case, it might not have had as strong a P&L as this one did yesterday, but you could see it's taking different entries because I'll open up the settings, much more complicated here. Reversal scalps, you've got your range, martingale, long boost, but you've also got your early stoppage filter, your time entropy. This is a very cool feature where after 40 minutes, the trade will cease. Based on our data, we've seen that if a trade lasts longer than 40 minutes, it's basically 50-50. So that has been some very cool data to see. So we added that feature for people to play around with. We also have this range boost double feature. We're not sure if we want to include this, but if I go to the back test, let's do last 365. This is using that Turbo Zeus setup that I had said. If you put on the range boost double, you can see, look at this profit number. It goes from 91 all the way up to 127. So we're not sure if we want to include that. We might, just to give you guys the option. So Zeus is getting a serious upgrade here in the coming days. It's currently in staff right now. We're testing this daily to see if there's any bugs before we release it out into beta to our clients. Now, before I finish up here, I'll go ahead and I got to showcase some wins from the team. Payouts here, dozens on dozens in this channel, and then the wins, just so you could see people crushing it every single day. Prop accounts, cash accounts, our systems can work to whatever your desired preference is. There's literally thousands. I could scroll this for hours on hours. But go see for yourself. We also have a losses and lessons channel. We don't hide that there's bad weeks, there's bad months. You know, algo trading isn't press button, make millions of dollars. That is not the case at all. But just go see this for yourself, talk with other clients, see if QuantVue is a good fit. If you want access to the Evo algorithm that I showcased in the video, the version 1.2 of Zeus, all those exciting performance upgrades coming, there's a link in the description. You can book a call with one of our specialists to see if the ATS program is a good fit for you. That's all I got. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one.